All right, today we're jumping headfirst into the loud, chaotic, and just brilliantly colorful world of a band that is pretty much impossible to pin down, Gogol Bordello. So to really get what they're all about, you kind of have to ask yourself a weird question. What happens when you smash together the raw, sweaty energy of a punk rock show with, say, the wild, joyful chaos of a traditional Ukrainian wedding? The answer, you guessed it, is Gogol Bordello. This musical collective just exploded out of New York's Lower East Side back in 1999, and pretty quickly they became absolutely legendary for their stage shows, which are just wild, theatrical, and have this relentless energy. So what in the world do you actually call this incredible noise they make? Well, the band themselves basically pioneered the term for it, Gypsy Punk. And when you look at the ingredients, you get why. It's not just punk. You've got these traditional Romani and Ukrainian folk melodies, right? You can hear it in the accordion and the violin. But it's all thrown on top of this foundation of punk, dub, and yeah, even polka. On paper, it's a sound that really shouldn't work, but man, it absolutely does. And this genre, it really truly comes alive on stage. I mean, you can listen to the albums, they're great, but to really get Gypsy Punk, you have to witness the pure, unfiltered chaos of a Gogol Bordello live show. It is an experience for sure. And that name, Gogol Bordello, it's not just some random words they threw together. Nope, it's pretty much their mission statement. Okay, let's break it down. The Gogol part, that's a nod to Nikolai Gogol. He was a classic Ukrainian writer, and the band saw him as this huge ideological influence because he found these really clever ways to kind of smuggle Ukrainian culture into the mainstream of Russian society. And then you've got bordello, the Italian word for, a brothel. That represents all the raw, chaotic, maybe a little illicit, underground energy of their music. So you put it together. And just like their namesake, the band sees its mission as smuggling their culture, this amazing Romani and Eastern European music, into the English-speaking world. The name itself tells you exactly what they're trying to do. And here's a little piece of trivia for you. Before they landed on that perfect name, they were actually called Hütz and the Bela Bartoks. But as frontman Eugene Hütz himself said, they changed it because, and I quote, "Nobody knows who the hell Bela Bartok is in the United States," which, was probably a pretty smart marketing move. But here's the thing. That whole mission to smuggle culture, it isn't just limited to Eastern Europe. It's really about creating a sound that is truly, genuinely global. I mean, just look at their influences. They're all over the map. You can hear a bit of Jimi Hendrix's guitar wizardry, the political punch of The Clash, the non-stop grooves of Parliament Funkadelic, and the global vibe of Manu Chao. This is the foundation they built the punk part of Gypsy Punk on. And you can see this perfect fusion right there on stage. You've got Eugene Hütz, who is the quintessential punk frontman, just pure energy and attitude. And right alongside him, you've got the accordion, an instrument just steeped in folk tradition that's a cornerstone of their sound. It's the old world and the new world just crashing into each other. This global identity isn't just in what they listen to, it's baked into their DNA. The band has always been this kind of revolving door, a collective of musicians from a pretty incredible number of different countries and backgrounds. Seriously, just look at their lineup, both past and present. It reads like a roll call at the United Nations. You've got members from Ukraine, Russia, Ecuador, Israel, the US, Brazil, and that's just scratching the surface. They don't just play world music, they are world music. So with this kind of global perspective and their deep, deep connection to Ukrainian culture, well, it was maybe inevitable that the band would eventually be propelled beyond music, transforming from performers into full-blown activists. You can kind of watch their journey into the mainstream happen step by step. In 2005, they made their film debut. Then in 2008, they worked with Madonna. By 2012, they were in a huge Coca-Cola ad campaign. But it was in 2022 that their cultural mission took on this new, incredibly profound urgency. When Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, Gogol Bordello's lifelong project of celebrating Ukrainian culture was, well, it was no longer just an artistic mission. It became an act of political defiance. Frontman Eugene Hütz, being from Ukraine himself, immediately put his platform to use. The band started organizing benefit concerts, which sold out instantly, and they launched tours specifically to raise money and awareness for humanitarian relief. They even used their music as a direct tool for support. They teamed up with the one and only Les Claypool from Primus for a track called Man with the Iron Balls.
It was basically a tribute to the defiance of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and all the money went directly to aid for the people of Ukraine.
So all of this really leads to a pretty big question. Gogol Bordello's journey, it kind of challenges what a band can even be. In this super interconnected world we live in, what is their ultimate role? Are they just entertainers? Are they cultural ambassadors? Or can they, and maybe should they, be true agents of change? It's something to think about.